Hey, all you podcast listeners, you can find Slice of the Paranormal everywhere podcasts are found, or you can watch us on our YouTube channel.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Ryan. This sitting next to me is Christy.
Hello.
And across from me is my man, Steve.
Hi.
We are Slice of the Paranormal. It's a podcast where we talk about paranormal stuff, all kinds of stuff from witches and aliens and
Evil
ghosts
dentists.
and evil dentists.
Yeah.
Ooh, and haunted stuff and haunted islands and
Native American massacres and evil mountains.
evil. Okay.
Evil
Dark
mountains. And also,
Dark.
we do review pizza, too.
And we review pizza.
Oh, that too.
Check out these
We
places
also do that.
and review a local pizza place. This is true. Thanks, Christy.
Sorry. Just got to put that up there.
But what'd you say, Steve? Evil Mountain.
Yeah, evil mountains.
Did you have something you wanted to?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, before we get started, I had this really weird dream the other night, and it was super quick, so I wanted to tell you guys about it and see if you ever had a dream that was a little similar.
I'll get my drink.
It was super quick.
Here we go.
So, I had a dream that I was riding in a car, I don't know who was driving, me and someone else, and I started to feel sick to my stomach, and I was like, can you please pull over?
In the dream?
In my dream. So they pulled over, and it was nighttime. We're on a highway. Car's buzzing. Pull over, get out, I throw up, and it's like movie style, like just a whole lot of liquid comes out of my mouth. And
Okay,
then
is
it's
this like Linda Blair, like Exorcist level?
yeah,
or-
kind of like just
Okay.
When you say
tons of
movie
liquid.
style, whenever I see a puke
what
in a
I'm
movie,
saying.
it's balls, man.
Oh, yeah,
They
and
always
then
puke whatever's in their
straight shot.
mouth.
Oh
and
yeah,
that's it.
no, I hate that too. I
No.
agree with you. Like,
This is more like Exorcist,
No,
where
this
it's
is
like,
a whole bunch, right? So, and then
Very
it's like
good.
this like brown, silky, shimmery liquid, right?
Ew,
And then
what'd you eat? Blood?
It all pulls together like T1000 style or T2000 style, right? But just these big arms come out and start directing traffic. And that's it. Then I woke up.
From that goo, directing traffic arms. You
Right.
saw the future. That is the future
You
traffic.
guys ever have a
you
dream
said-
like that?
When you said something forming
Oh,
out
yeah.
of the goo,
All the
All the
time.
time.
I was thinking of the Algonquin from Dogma, the evil shit demon.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was thinking of the
yeah.
shit demon.
That's a good movie, Dogma.
Oh,
Love it.
yeah. I haven't seen that in quite a time.
No one has had that dream. And so what, you woke up?
Like, that's what I mean. It was such a short dream. It almost felt like a vision. Because, like, I had just been awake. I laid back down and, like, suddenly went right into this. Like, oh, I feel sick. I'm going to throw up. Then these just, like... And it was almost like flubber arms. Like, not like,
Ew.
like that. Like, more like flubber arms came
What
up
a
and just were
weird
like...
dream.
Go around.
I've had a lot of people telling me the past 2 or 3 days, now we're in December right now, that they've had a lot of weird dreams. And a lot of people tell me that it's the same thing, like these short but realistic dreams, almost like
Yes.
they're in their real life, but it's not. And I had one, and it's so strange. It's like a 30-second dream where I looked down at my nails, and I remember seeing my nails, and my one nail had a big dirty spot on it. I was like, oh, what's that? And I was like, I woke up.
You're like, why did I have that
Why did you
dream?
dream?
Yeah. Why did your brain need to have that dream? Like, your
And
subconscious.
I recollect it too, which I don't normally remember my dreams a lot of
Right.
times. So that's weird that we're having this. I don't know.
That's why I wanted to bring it up. I just thought it was such an
I
odd,
must not be
short
as creative.
dream.
I don't remember most of my dreams.
For real?
Yeah, most of my dreams, I don't remember them.
Maybe you're not getting good REM sleep.
You have to wake up at the right time.
I'm on a CPAP machine.
You should be getting the best sleep.
I sleep awesome. Like, my wife
How
hates
do
it
you not
because I
have dreams? So it's not that you don't have dreams, it's that you don't remember 'em.
Yeah, you have
I
to wake
just
up
don't
at the right
remember.
time
Yeah.
and have a dream journal.
I sleep very deeply, and like once I put my CPAP on, I honestly just go out within a minute.
Honestly, if you don't write it down, unless they're like really good ones,
Very
like
rarely can I
what
remember,
I'm talking
yeah.
about, if you don't write them down immediately, they're gone. Like, you got to write them
No,
down
the weird
almost
thing is,
immediately.
I remember my dreams from when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like
those ones.
those vivid dreams
Yeah,
as
I
a
remember
kid.
some
I
of
remember
those,
some
too.
of those like still haunt me. But
Maybe they
last
weren't
week-
dreams.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell. I don't remember.
Speaking of dreams, that grinning guy has started to come up in my TikTok now. And he's
Oh,
called
yeah.
a couple different things. He's called this. I'm not joking.
The grinner?
No, he's not called the Grinner. That was cool. I think Jill came up with that. But the smiling guy or the smiling figure or the guy in the black hat or the black figure in the hat, like,
yeah,
I've found
so
this.
it's a real phenomenon.
It's a real thing. I thought was just local, but it seems to be much bigger than that. And what the heck is that?
My Coal Region Paranormal team has investigated a house that was haunted by a man in a hat.
No.
And my family in 1972 had an experience that was multiple family members were going to my grandfather, it was my great-grandmother's funeral, and they were leaving the funeral, and a older gentleman was standing on the corner, and he took off his hat as the procession drove by him. And then they drove on a couple miles away to Osceola Cemetery in Florida.
Okay.
And at the gate of the cemetery, the same man was standing.
No.
And he took off his hat again. And multiple members of the family were all remarked.
I'm like getting chills right now. Just this guy, I had no idea it was such a big thing. I'm sorry, Steve.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like I even posted it, and some of my relatives in Florida were like, "Oh my God, I remember the man in the hat." And it was just a story I grew up with hearing
now,
from
that
my
could
father.
also be a ghost attached to that specific.
It could be
because if it's a
to the
specific, like he takes his hat off
people
type
like
thing.
ghosts in the 1800s often wore
Right, it
hats
could
like
be
that.
a different type of ghost too. But if it's either way,
It's almost a universal archetype of a ghost haunting, kind of like shadow people.
like a trope. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder what it could mean, like, or
I don't know. You hear a lot of different theories, but
it a
in ghost
warning?
hunting, it's all theories.
The smiling guy with the hat on. Do you know anything? Please reach out to us. Tell us some information. I'd love to hear more about this guy.
Yeah.
I can't believe more and more people are talking about this. I'm seeing more and more of it. Anyway, maybe we should get on topic. Let's talk about what the actual episode's about.
Sorry.
What do you
Okay,
think?
when we were coming back from, I think it was Jim Thorpe.
We were in Jim Thorpe for sure.
We went to Jim Thorpe, and when we're always
Pennsylvania.
looking for what's on the path home. And I was like, well, Hawk Mountain. And so we drove.
Because Steve knows all the haunted places wherever we go.
Because I have the 8,000 GPS locations on my Google Maps.
Whatever you do, we appreciate it, Steve.
So I'm like, we got to go to Hawk Mountain. So
Hawktua Mountain is what we like to
Hawktua.
call it. All day we call it Hawktua Mountain.
You
did.
boys called it that.
Well, she kind of did too. I'm pretty sure she
So
Maybe once or twice.
today, if you bring up Hawk Mountain to a normal person, not us, they're going to be like, oh, the wild bird sanctuary, because that's what it is today. There's all these trails on Hawk Mountain, and people go there because it's on a bird's migratory route. So people go there to see raptors and eagles and
like
hawks.
big birds of prey.
Big birds
Yeah.
of prey fly over this on a yearly basis, and there's times of the year that you can go there, and if you're a bird watcher,
Velasa.
velociraptors. So that's what it's known for today, but we're going to go back a little bit further into the history.
Okay.
For one, the land, probably because of the birds flying over it and being on the migratory route, the mountain was held dear by Native Americans. So
Sure.
the Lenni Lenape, or the Delaware tribe as the white men would call it, they held it in high regard. In fact, near the one Schambacher Tavern, in the yard, there was once a Indian medicine wheel. Do you guys know what that is?
No.
It's a stone circle, and people have various ideas of what a medicine wheel was used for. Some say it was to mark the passage of time.
What is
Stonehenge.
it? It's a stone what?
it's like a Stonehenge.
It's like a Stonehenge. It's like a rocks in a circle that are placed, and you might be using it for a calendar, but if you go to like a Native
be
American
altars?
powwow,
Oh, okay.
they believe that like you can use a medicine wheel for
Healing.
rituals and stuff. So like if you're trying to get rid of like negativity, you might pray to the north of the medicine wheel, because that's the winter, that's the abolishing
Interesting. That's really cool.
So it might have been a ceremonial.
So some
site.
Native Americans, whatever, different.
Like altars type.
Native Americans would have revered this mountain as being very special.
And it was a mountain. It was big.
I mean, it runs
and
like
steep. It was very steep.
And I have a book here, which I always like to call out books that talk about the topic. If people want to look into them,
books is why we're here.
Yeah,
Ghost Stories.
You know everything.
Of Berks County by Charles J. Adams III.
There you go.
So he wrote this book, and if you look in the book and you try to find Hawk Mountain, you're not going to find it. You want to open up the book and you want to look for Ghost of the Eck.
The Eck.
Ghost of the Eck is the story about Hawk Mountain.
How do you spell that?
E-C-K.
Okay.
Eck.
It's
What the
called
heck?
the Eck, that general vicinity, because Hawk Mountain stretches between Bailey's Crossing and Eckville.
Eckville.
So it's just a general name
Down there about Bailey's Crossing.
for this mountain. So the first white man we have that is connected to this site is the Gerhardt family. So the Gerhardt family moves to this mountain.
Oh, Rebecca Gerhardt. Remember?
And
Who's that?
Noxzema girl. Remember Rebecca
The
Gerhardt?
Noxzema girl. I haven't thought of her in forever.
I'm pretty sure. No, this is out there. Allegedly, I'm pretty sure she hit somebody with her car and unalived them. Anyway, I don't think that's.
we'll have to look that up.
I think it's a real story. Rebecca Gerhardt.
It's not like I know
Noxzema
you did
girl
last-
back in the day.
What summer? She wasn't in that movie though, right?
Which one?
I know what you did last summer. That's where the
don't
kids hit the
know.
guy
It's
in the car.
it's like that same
Oh
thing.
yeah, that was that same girl. I think.
No, that's Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No, different girl.
Sarah Michelle.
No,
Gellar.
different girl.
I have
All right,
no
back,
idea.
back to Hawk Mountain. I'm all over the
Back
place.
to the Haktua Mountain.
So gross.
The Gerhardts were
Gerhardt.
actually massacred on this mountain. So, because Native Americans had a problem with a lot of white people at this time period. So what happens is at 8 a.m., Frederick Reichel Durfer saw two Native Americans running towards him. Mm-hmm. Now, this guy is the neighbor of the Gerhardts. So he is closer to the Gerhardt house.
Okay.
So he starts running towards the Gerhardt house to try to get a gun, to protect himself. And he gets close to the Gerhardts and he hears the words, Lord Jesus, and ran to his home, so he runs the other way, okay, I'm going back to my house because it's not good at the Gerhardts. And when he gets to his own house, his house is engulfed in flames.
Aww.
So his two children were shot. One was dead.
Whoa, okay.
And the other was taken home, but he died within 3 hours. Now,
my gosh.
This is Reichelderfer, the neighbor.
This is Rifle Durfer.
Yeah, this is a bunch of Reichelderfer,
This
Steve.
is not even the Gerhardts. And then at the Gerhardt house, one man was killed, 2 women, and 6 children.
Aww.
So this is all actual
like a
historical.
massacre.
This is historically documented.
Happened.
Yeah.
This really happened.
Okay.
Now, at the Gerhardt house, there was one person that survived. Mm-hmm. And it's the son named Jacob Gerhardt. And he sought refuge at the home of Andreas Hagenbuch.
You're doing good with the names today, Steve.
I've been practicing.
It shows.
So I'm trying to think of what year this was. I don't know if I wrote down the exact year, but he was 11 years old when this happened.
So I'm thinking, what, like 1800s, the Native Americans were attacking?
1850s through the 1750s through the 1780s.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It could be that long ago.
So
Couple hundred.
We're
Sure.
talking like the start of the French and Indian War is when this is all happening.
I did know where the French and Indian War. I knew those.
I know. Now, Gerhardt, when this happens, he's like 11 years old. So he does not come back to the family homestead for quite a while. He returns to the family's house in about 1793. Now, the white building we have a picture of, the Schambacher Tavern,
Let's go to Schambacher.
is actually the building he builds, and he moves back to the family site.
And who is this? The son?
This is Jacob Gerhardt, the boy that survived the
place
massacre.
pretty
Boy
old.
that survived the Native American massacre. And basically the massacre was his family and then the other family.
And neighboring
the
families.
Buchendorfer or Rickendorfer.
Yeah, the Reichelderfer.
Reichelderfer.
The boy who lived.
So he is the boy who lived.
Oh.
So he comes back.
He's got the scar and everything.
Supposedly he's not really his family was massacred, so obviously it alters him. He probably has
He saw
PTSD.
some shit.
He's gonna have some trauma.
So they said that he
Poor little
wasn't
guy.
totally right ever in the head.
Well, yeah.
Which is understandable. But this so there's that main
Breaks your heart.
tragedy.
It is tragic. It is.
Now
You almost wish, that's horrible.
Now he lives and dies in that home. He that's where he lives.
You got a free home.
So the
one
house
thing
goes
he got out
through
of it.
many changes of ownership. There's a guy also living on the mountain named Matthias Berger. Now Matthias Berger had a cabin, and he was a Baptist minister.
Burgermeister or Meister
And-
Burger?
This is
Sorry.
in
Burgermeister.
1890. A hiker found his cabin ripped apart.
The Burgermeister's cabin?
Matthias Berger, yes, the Burgermeister.
Nice.
He had a cross that was ripped down. The cross was on his yard. He would supposedly baptize people on
Okay.
the property and stuff like that. And they even called him the monk.
Because he
Okay.
baptized people up on his property.
He did. So,
was-
but he was found dead in the woods near his cabin.
And this is not the same Schambacher cabin.
No, this is
Okay.
Matthias Berger.
Different cabin.
So this guy also dies, but not by the hands of the Native Americans.
Okay.
So now we're up to 2 tragedies, 3 families dying
Weird
mysteriously or
Yeah.
random reasons. There's also a man named Manassas had a camp, and it was a log cabin near Pine Swamp. And someone heard him shoot 6 shotgun blasts. So they run to his camp to find out what the heck's going on. Why is there all this gunfire?
Okay.
And when they got to Manassas camp, he said 7 devils came out from the swamp, and he shot 6 of them. The last one said he would let him live in peace only after one of his children had died,
Oh.
is what he told these people.
What?
Wait, I'm confused. The 7th devil said that to them?
The 7th devil that came out of the swamp said that to him,
Said it to
to
him.
Manassas.
How many bullets did Manassas have? I mean, that probably.
Well, I don't know, but he
6.
shot 6 of them.
Right.
Apparently only
so
6.
he probably only had 6. Like, he probably
Seventh
didn't have
one.
much of a choice.
But here's the creepy part.
He's like, I would have shot
He
you.
must have believed it because a local
Because he
doctor
killed his kid.
was summoned to the cabin several days later to find one child dead.
Ooh, it's like some biblical
And
stuff.
He was suspended from the ceiling with muslin cloth to keep away the rats.
The child was?
The child was.
Oh.
So
I was joking. Jeez.
Yeah,
That's
so,
messed up. He did kill his kid.
yeah, you were right on the nail with that.
Ah.
So you have this Native American mountain with some weird lore, and you have lots of deaths happening on this mountain. So it's got an eerie vibe. Now, people have also seen on this mountain,
Eerie vibe, but people got stories, right?
people hear screams, people hear moans and voices talking, like just out of the distance. People see phantom lights on this mountain. And
Seems to be a common one too,
Phantom
right?
lights, yeah.
Random
there's
phantom
also
lights.
a 10-foot man that is seen on the mountain. And the belief is that this 10-foot luminous man is somehow connected to the Native Americans. That it's a protector of the mountain.
I need to
He's
know more
luminous
about
as
this
in like
10-foot
glowing
man.
and
Yeah, like when a guy was driving a tractor on a nearby road and
Yeah.
he saw this luminous man.
Yeah.
And he stopped the tractor and the man was walking towards him but then just disappeared.
I need to rename this episode. It didn't need to be called 10-foot luminous man.
Ooh,
I know, right?
So, you know what I learned about last night is that I guess Pennsylvania has something called a white Bigfoot. That could be a 10-foot luminous man in the moonlight.
True story.
We have all the colors of Bigfoot. We have red, white, black, and brown.
Yeah, and that Norditch one or whatever it is, Altwitch.
Albitwitch. That is in Colombia.
Yeah.
No,
And,
whole separate episode.
That is another episode because I have to talk about
I got lots of stuff.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So, just starting out, we
Cryptids
have
coming
a
up.
lot of like weirdness on this mountain. But that is not the weirdest part of the story. Now we're going to get to the creepier stuff.
10-foot luminous guy is
meat of
not
the
the weirdest
story.
part of the story.
No.
There's more.
It's not. There's more. So the tavern...
Wait, there's more!
The tavern we just showed you is called Schambacher Tavern.
Here, I have a little plaque. What's that?
And there's a plaque that shows it, and there's a lot of different spellings of it.
It says Hawk Mountain.
But it's named after Matthias Schambacher, who turned Jacob's home into a tavern in about 1850 is when I think this happened. So soon after he started this tavern, travelers start disappearing. And
So, first of all, I
Why is
wanted to
that?
ask you about this. So, like this tavern, it's like hard to, there's nowhere to park on
Schambacher
this
Tavern.
road. So I imagine the roads were a lot different. But like, it's up on a mountain. How many people were really visiting this tavern every night? do you
well,
think?
I mean,
there's a road right there.
yeah,
and,
but again,
you're
where are
talking
you gonna
about parking.
Park your horse
but-
and buggy.
I mean, a lot of these people are traveling just with a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just literally swinging the rein around a tree, you know. And you
It's
would
a
stop
teeny
at
little
almost any
place.
home,
Dude,
like if you're traveling.
If you're a traveler
horse
back
has got to
then,
be the best way to get home if you got drunk, right?
not if you're a guy.
Why? The horse knows the way home. I'm safe.
I mean, maybe if you're an experienced horseback
You just
rider,
be like, yeah, and then you
if you
head
know what
home.
you're doing on a horse. But if you're a newbie, I don't imagine.
Yeah,
it'd be-
true story.
I think
If
if
you
it's-
want to hop on a
I think
random
if it's
horse
in
when
the
you're drunk, I agree.
1850s.
Yeah, just putting this out there. Do not hop on random horses whilst drunk.
In the 1850s, I don't think it was. Most people were pretty skilled with horses.
Yeah, I
Right,
guess.
and your horse was your horse.
Unless you were living in a big city, you were skilled with horses. Unless you just wanted to stay at your house at all times. But the Schambacher guy was not really well liked. He was not a very personable person.
Oh.
And some travelers
decided to run a tavern.
claimed that they heard screaming coming from his barn. Someone went to the barn to see what was going on, and Schambacher chased him off the property with a bloody hatchet.
Oh,
and by
dang.
this time, it was already established that travelers were disappearing.
Yeah, it's already established that travelers are
So
disappearing.
bloody hatchet's not a good thing.
And then they're hearing noises, and he's like, "Get away, you scoundrel!
he's chasing them off. You know.
Yeah.
Now
Get off my lawn!"
when there's a bunch of people that supposedly go missing, and it's I'll start going through them, but this Schambacher guy on his deathbed admitted to killing at least 11 people.
admitted to it. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead
He
and
said to have chopped them up and put their remains down the well and fed them to animals in the woods. Now, Matthias Schambacher,
and put him down a well.
he put them down a well.
and then also feed them.
Or feed them to animals in the woods.
So let's just stop right here. Can you? Okay. There's ways to murder people. Chopping them up has got to be
Seems unnecessary
so exhausting.
in the 1850s.
So much extra effort, right?
Oh, it's not unnecessary. Because one of the travelers stopped and ate at Schambacher's Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he had German sausage. And it was the weirdest tasting German sausage he's ever had.
He had the long pig.
So
It's like literal
I
German
think he was
sausage.
chopping up these travelers
I do Wendigo, just saying.
and
Right?
serving them to other travelers.
Gross. Oh, no.
One of the reasons
But no,
this
wait, I
guy-
thought they were in a
Oh,
well.
no.
Chopped up in a well.
Some of the remains were put in the well. That might be the things
Like the foots and ears
or the
and
bones,
noses.
or the
Guts.
brain, or the guts.
Okay.
So the theory is that he may have been chopping these people up and turning them into sausage to hide the deeds.
No.
That's like fried green tomatoes.
Sweeney
stuff,
Todd, right?
Like right there.
Now, one of the reasons that people thought he was guilty was because a traveling salesman was coming by, peddlers, and after the Civil War, people would sell the clothing and armaments like that you'd get off the battlefields. Mm-hmm. So a guy was selling Civil War uniforms. There was a thriving business of robbing the dead on these Civil War battlefields.
Yeah.
And the traveler selling the Civil War goods went missing. But Mr. Matthias Schambacher was selling Civil War outfits later in Reading, PA.
Just perchance.
And happened to have a fresh case of sausages.
And he was in the cab.
Also, would you like some sausage?
Would you like some sausage? It's a little funky. So he aroused a lot of suspicions that he was sourcing some of the goods he was selling from the people he was killing and possibly
and
serving.
Feeding.
I can't even
Like
wrap
Ryan
my
said,
head around
would
this.
that make... So we did the Wendigo episode, and it was basically if you eat human flesh, chances are you may turn into a Wendigo, or at least get the Wendigo fever.
But...
So if people are eating human sausages, Soylent sausage...
Right.
Would they not become Wendigos or have Wendigo fever?
They would not, because Wendigo psychosis was supposed to be, or believed to be, a tie to the Native Americans.
Just to the Native Americans.
So only for the Native Americans? That
Yes.
seems rather unfair.
It
I
does
agree.
seem unfair.
No, I think
Because I thought I
think the white
researched
man
stuff
eats
saying
the
like
white
miners
flesh.
would have it too.
it's a whole different thing, huh?
it's a whole different thing.
Fair enough. You know what? I'm not going to take that from
Yeah,
them.
I defer to Steve on that.
Yeah. Rock
Yeah,
and roll.
like that's just
Or would be
what they
deter.
believe.
No,
It's
defer.
one less thing we, yeah.
Now, some believe that Schambacher was claimed that his madness was, and the reason
So
he
he
was
did
driven to
have
murder
madness.
was he was hearing voices in his ears.
Right.
He
coming.
aided the flesh. That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
we don't know
about.
if he ate it.
He definitely
you know
ate
he
it.
tasted his own
He definitely ate
sausage.
it.
Well, he was serving it.
Oh, he definitely ate it.
He might have eaten
definitely ate
You
his
got
own
to taste
sausage.
a little bit.
it. Now, the next owner after him is a guy
Any
named...
good chef knows that.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
don't
you gotta
taste it
taste
before
while
you
you're
serve
cooking,
it.
I guess. The next owner is a guy named William Turner, who lives at the tavern with his wife and 8 children. And it said that he found human remains
In that little house with
Friggin'
8
everywhere.
children.
Yeah.
That little tiny hut.
Well, he
What,
back
the
Which was
building?
also the tavern.
The tavern / building?
supposedly he found human remains on the site
Wow.
of the
You
property.
want to see a picture, go to our YouTube.
Or don't. We don't care.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
No,
not
that-
trying to tell you what to do.
Now, the house is also supposedly haunted by the ghost of a small girl. A small girl, a psychic said that the little girl was deaf and mute, and when her mother died, she was left alone to die a horrible death from starvation.
Deaf and mute. Her mom dies. And the poor little girl.
Now, this comes from a psychic.
Oh,
yeah.
my
She
gosh.
died from no one to take
Oh, so
care
this
of her.
information comes from a psychic?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So take that what it is.
take it for what it is.
Yeah, that's hard to
But-
make a joke about.
Never.
I mean, I
Sorry,
might.
not
Now,
Nothing's coming to me
There's
right
another
now.
story that says that the kid, the little ghost girl, also there's a legend that says that she was playing with a whistle and she fell and died on the steps.
Oh, man. Okay,
So people-
that's
But
kind
she
of
was
funny.
deaf?
She's deaf.
If the deaf mute
I-
girl...
If the psychic's right
fell-
and she's deaf.
Why is she playing with a
Christy,
whistle?
if she died
She can't
with
hear
like a
it.
whistle in her mouth, a deaf mute girl, and that's all she ever said was... That's almost a whole
Just because
thing.
she can't hear the whistle doesn't mean we can't.
No, but I'm just
Word.
saying, why would she be playing with a whistle?
I'm saying
She
that
can't
I don't
hear it.
I don't
Can't be a lot of
fully
fun if
believe
you can't hear it.
She
in
can
the
blow a
deaf
whistle,
mute
but she can't talk.
story.
Maybe it's the only way she can make noise.
Oh, okay, like a communication.
I'm in love
It
with
could have
this
been
story.
communi-
Like,
it
could be like
communication.
2 for
Yeah.
yes and 1 for no. And
Yeah. We gotta go talk to Whistling Ghost Girl.
Now, you guys know of Ed and Lorraine Warren, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So in the 1970s, they visited the site and declared it also very haunted.
They deemed it to be haunted.
Like, did just regular people own it at that point?
Well, as of 1935...
I mean, I guess everybody's regular people, but...
At 1935, it gets given... the sanctuary was founded by Rosalie Edge. And it's now something like 2,600 acres.
Okay.
So from 1935 on, it is under the property of Hawk Mountain Sanctuary.
He wanted
Okay.
to say y'all don't even know he wanted to say Hawk to us so bad.
Workers are then housed in that little building. Because
it must be
there.
bigger on the inside.
So
It's like one of those buildings where you go in and it looks way bigger.
Yeah.
So there's a former residence. There's a guy named Seth Benz. He heard heavy footsteps on the back porch. He also heard the sound of dragging. He's heard the sound of sharpening knives.
Nope.
So Seth Benz had...
Could you imagine just being like hanging out and hearing like knives being sharpened
At the
or
site
things
that's
being
supposedly-
dragged across the floor? Those are the grossest ghost noises. Well, aside from
He's
heavy
like
breathing.
hearing the
aside
the
from heavy
Schambacher
breathing. Good
murders,
call.
essentially.
He's no. I feel bad for this guy. Seth, what?
Seth Benz, Benz.
I feel bad for multiple reasons now.
The first curators of Hawk Mountain are Maurice and Irma Braun. And they lived in the home in 1938. And they are the ones we can thank because, according to Charles Adams, they collected most of the tales.
This is cool, and it's more recent, yeah.
Of Hawk Mountain. So they were the ones that were kind of trying to figure everything out. And I actually have the name of the traveler that was chased off.
The who?
The traveler that was chased off by Matthias Schambacher is a guy named Elias Featheroffs.
What?
So that's the guy that was chased off.
He retold the story.
Who retold the story. So
Elias
Featheroffs.
You're doing great with these names today. I am so proud of you.
So the question is, what's the evil of Hawk Mountain?
What is the evil of Hawk Mountain?
And where did it start?
When did it start?
Is it Jacob Gerhardt driven mad by the massacre?
Right.
Is it Matthias
massacre itself?
Schambacher?
Or is it B?
The murdering taverner?
Or is it 3?
Or is the Native Americans, the 10-foot
luminous man?
Right.
My favorite by far.
Is he the one? You know, or even the demons that are coming out of the swamp supposedly on this mountain. You know, so there's a lot of lore attributed to this mountain.
It could be all of the
so
above.
much history.
Yeah,
just in that couple hundred years is a lot of history. I mean, and that's just those couple hundred.
And before
That's
the Hawk Mountain Sanctuary got the site, there were actual bootleggers that were bootlegging out of that building as well. And there was a gunfire battle between them and the police, and they were arrested and taken from that site.
That's so nuts. Again, it's just this teeny little hut-like building on the side of the road.
We would have drove maybe a mile away.
The history of this one building.
There's Matthias Schambacher, the murderous taverner.
Yeah.
Supposedly, when he dies and is buried on March 10th, 1879, in Kempton, he's like 55 years old. But the interesting thing is, they're about to lower the casket into the grave.
Okay.
The lightning strikes the grave several times that he's going to go into.
What?
So much.
This is a retold story? Like a real thing?
Yeah. Supposedly, the guys that were carrying the casket got so scared, they dropped the casket.
Was it during a storm?
Yeah. And but the lightning doesn't usually strike the same place multiple times.
Or near you.
They drop Schambacher's casket into the mountain, and supposedly, local lore says he's buried face down.
Oh, because of how they dropped him.
Because of how they dropped him.
Because of the lightning.
And I'd love to take you.
Sunny side
Could you
up.
imagine getting buried on like a lightning storm?
Yeah.
Oh my God, where the lightning...
So
This
maybe
is awesome.
maybe he is the evil.
Someone was like, you're going face down.
Exactly. So I sent you a picture of a graveyard.
You did. I have it right here. It's on the YouTube.
And this is
Like and subscribe.
Matthias Schambacher's grave. And you'll notice it's missing something. You notice anything odd about his grave?
What I'm seeing here is like a little bit of empty area. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, what happened is
one.
he no longer has a headstone.
Oh, well, that
was where Schambacher and his wife were buried. Someone has stolen his headstone off that.
That's messed up.
Because it's just a stump there now.
So there's just like if you go to the cemetery, the New Bethel Union Cemetery, in I think Kenton, PA, you will find where his headstone used to be and where the lightning would have struck.
Isn't that crazy? Just that story of having your funeral being marred with lightning storm,
right?
Lighting up your grave. Like, that's crazy on its own, right?
Yeah, I mean, and there's so much different lore for this.
And what's his name?
Matthias Schambacher.
Matthias Schambacher.
The sausage
Let me tell
guy.
you what, the sausage guy.
The sausage guy.
Not a good guy.
Yeah, like if you die,
he said he killed 11 people.
Yeah, is supposedly he killed 11 people.
Not supposed. He said it. Well, he's
and there's different legends of some of the people he killed. I mean, so
could there be more than 11, or do you think he took credit for just the?
I mean, if you come up and you say I killed 11 people, you probably were counting.
Yeah, that's pretty
you were
specific.
Probably counting.
You probably you know
Axe
like
murdered.
around 10.
Not axe murder,
11.
right?
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, so like whether it was guilt or madness that drove him to admit to killing people in his death.
Wendigo fever.
It could have been the Wendigo fever.
Could have been.
He did eat people. I guarantee one thing is that he had a little.
Yeah, he had to taste
So,
that.
like,
fingers.
once again, this is a site I think we really need to go investigate in the warm weather.
Do people live there now? No one lives there.
Yeah, the house is still lived in.
Yeah.
So it's private property. Do not go to the Schambacher Tavern and knock on their door. They probably don't want to see you. But definitely go out and buy, Charles Adams' book. Goes to Berks County. And this is just one of, I think he's done 5 ghost books on Berks County. And I have all 5. Of course.
Maybe we should talk to him and have him on.
So maybe. He does a lot of things. He's a very busy guy.
Yeah.
But there's Ghost of Berks County 1, 2, 3, Bizarre Berks. There's a whole bunch of them.
Very cool.
So if you like Berks County.
And that's how you heard of this?
Yeah. Well, my family originally, the area they lived in was originally called Berks County. And now the land through counties changing their geographic lines and dimensions, they're now called Dauphin County.
Dauphin.
But at one point, Berks
Not
County
Dolphin,
once
Dauphin.
encompassed the town of Klingerstown. So
Your last namesake.
exactly, it's named after my family.
Look at that, Steve.
So
How fancy
Again,
you
not
are.
surprised.
we've been here since 1749. So we were some of the earliest.
I bet you
people.
can trace your family back to the Mayflower.
No, actually, we didn't get to America until 1749. But I can trace my family back in a straight line all the way at least until 1618.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nuts.
When you guys were all joking about the Burgermeister, my original ancestor was the Burgermeister.
Shut up.
Of a town called Beerfirth. So that
Burgermeister's a real thing?
Meister Burger?
Yeah, it was really a thing. You were the mayor.
Isn't that strawberry shortcake? What is that?
I don't know.
What is the Burgermeister? I gotta look it up.
You're the mayor. My
Mayor
ancestor
means
was
Burgermeister?
the Burgermeister of Beerfirth, Germany, which is south of Frankfurt. So
Oh, it's from Santa
Can
Claus
you be
is
a
coming to
Burgermeister
town.
with cheese?
It's from Santa Claus is coming to town.
I told my wife this week, I was like, listen, I cannot like this movie because the Burgermeister is treated horribly.
Meister Burger.
And he's led to be there's a line in that show where they say, well, who needs a Burgermeister anyway? I was like, this is totally offensive to my family.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any free images. I'm not going to show anything.
So
Anyway, sorry.
that's fine.
I knew that was familiar for some reason.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Do you ever see that guy on TikTok that does like the stop animation?
Oh yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
I saw him. He's great. The mouth
pretty awesome
movements
at it. Yeah,
are amazing.
it's like put one foot in front of the. I'm like, that's pretty cool, man.
I was like, man, I would love to try to do that.
I know, I'm jealous.
That's a good party trick.
I can't do that.
I can't do it either. But so you guys, we went to Hawk Mountain to see what it was like. Obviously, we didn't see any 10-foot people.
No.
Man, do I wish. I wish, and again, so we only get part of the information when Steve tells us these stories. I don't get the full story. He didn't tell me about no 10-foot
Yeah, we didn't get that
plasma
part.
man that I should have known about.
Well, because
Hell, I would have
But
named
to
the
be
episode
fair-
that. That's cool.
To be fair,
That's
every time he starts to tell us something,
We stop
we
him.
stop him.
We shut him
So,
up.
yeah.
We shut him
Brian's
down.
always like, shh, shh,
yeah,
shh.
save it.
I feel so bad for Steve because
Yeah.
he wants to tell us all these stories.
I do, but it does make it so that, the first time you visit it, you get an honest feel for the site.
We do.
And then when we go back, like we'll go back to some of these sites, then you'll have the knowledge I have, and you could see what else you can.
The full story.
You'll have the full story.
10-foot
Yeah.
illuminous man.
But you
is
can
my
never
new
take
thing.
it back like the first experience without the knowledge. It's like watching a movie for the first time.
Right.
You know, you're more open to anything. Once you watch The Matrix or something,
You're looking for certain
you're
things.
looking for certain things. Your perspective is completely different.
What if I took the blue pill?
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I think you guys are going to get the best of both worlds after you revisit some of these sites, and you've already done that.
Yeah, actually, my good friend Jill and I actually did revisit the site and got some interesting results. We did what's called the Estes method there. And
A Hawk Mountain?
yeah.
Oh,
we went up
nice.
there. And for our listeners, viewers, what the Estes method is basically someone sits with headphones on and connected to a spirit box. Steve, you might even be a little bit better at explaining this than me, but basically it just cycles through radio frequencies, correct?
Yeah, so the person
Just-
that's hearing the frequencies, they are blindfolded and they have noise-canceling headphones on, so
Right.
they can't hear anything. So the other person's asking the questions. The person that has the ghost box is actually not knowing what the questions are.
Right.
Right. Two separate things. You got one person hearing, one person asking.
Right.
Correct.
In different places.
Exactly. So the person that's listening to the ghost box is just calling out what they're hearing through that.
Exactly.
And the hope is that they're not being influenced to give you
they can't
results.
hear what I'm
can't hear
asking
what she's
or
asking.
what
Right. It's
vice
not influenced
versa.
by. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's more like a,
Hopefully
a
it-
double
yeah.
blind test.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went up there really with not too many expectations because, we just didn't know. But we kept asking names. We got quite a few names, not quite 11, but we did get almost 8 names, and we got a little more stuff. I don't know if I want to maybe save it for maybe another future episode at some point, but we definitely will be posting up some video about it that we got
Awesome.
at future
Very
times.
cool. Yeah. We can put
Yeah.
them on Facebook or socials.
Yeah, but at one point we did ask the question, did you kill people up there? And it said yes, and how many? And it was like 8. So we're like, okay, and we got 8 names at one point. So,
Wow.
But again, I don't put full faith into it because
Into any of this.
yeah, until I really see it, I think I still am a skeptic. But it did seem some of the stuff seemed eerily like it matched up.
That's cool.
And
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So we'll have to revisit Hawk Mountain, and
But I didn't know about the luminous creature then either.
correct.
So,
So
now-
the next trip,
We need a luminous creature trap.
I have a couple. I'll bring them.
oh, there we go. At
Yeah.
least you do.
No problem.
Okay.
I got one for each, I think.
I almost
I'll
had
double
one.
check the shed.
But I didn't get to the movie theater to get the Ghost Trap popcorn box.
Yeah, nice. Is that all you got for Hawk Mountain?
That is all I got for
I
Hawk
apologize
Mountain.
for every Hawk tour I gave you today. No, I don't. I like them all. It was funny every time. But while we were in Hawk Mountain, we visited a couple pizza places because we went to Jim Thorpe, and it was a long day. And I screwed up on the other episode. So for this episode, we're going to review Gaetano's Pizza in North Street, Jim Thorpe, it's close. It's only like 10 minutes. It was up a little across the Lehigh Gorge, across the little river thing from downtown Jim Thorpe. So if you've ever been to Jim Thorpe, it's like kind of like a crevice, like a valley-like little thing.
It's called, I think, the Lehigh Gorge.
The gorge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It kind of goes down.
Switzerland,
there's a river that runs by
Pennsylvania.
it. But if you go across the river and kind of up the mountain, is where Hawk Mountain is. So on the way to that's what we're talking about. We're in Pennsylvania, by the way. Steve, this pizza, Gaetano's Pizza. I'm not quite sure. I can't see the outside of this place. I wish I could see a picture of it. But anyway, Steve gave it a 3.75, so it must have been good.
It was
3.75 out of 5. Flavor was great. Crust was perfect. Okay, already a good review. A little greasy. Uh-oh. I know what that means. That means the next review is going to say Chrissy says a lot greasy.
Yeah.
A lot of pepperoni coverage, and char was great. So char, which means maybe brick oven or...
Yeah, I remember walking into the place, and I could see the very Italian man twirling the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Throwing
yes,
the dough.
And we were both like, "Okay, this place is good."
Yeah, once you see the guy hand twirling the pizza, you're like, "I'm good."
I'm in.
Especially you hear that thick Italian accent.
I said, "I want one pie, half cheese, half pepperoni." He's like, "Yeah," and he had an accent. He had like an Italian accent.
right.
I'm not going to imitate it because he was awesome, but
yeah, once you hear that accent, you're like, "I'm good."
I sat down. I was like, "I'm good. Yeah, this is going to happen." Christy, but was it brick oven, Steve?
I don't know if it was brick oven.
But whatever it is, it had a nice char.
It did have a nice char.
3.5 out of 5, Christy.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's a solid score for
For you,
me.
that's solid, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good score, actually.
Nice and thin, it says. Foldable. Yeah, for sure. Not too much pizza bones. You want to explain what a pizza bone is?
Pizza bone is the crust.
What you're left with?
Yeah, what you're left with. That's the pizza bones. And, there was not
You ever heard that before?
much.
Pizza bones?
pizza bones
Only
left.
from Christy.
That's the first time you heard it too?
Yeah, that's it.
Where'd you hear it? Did you make it up?
No, I didn't. I wish I did because I think it's adorable. I actually heard it from one of my clients' families.
Oh, so it's a thing. Mm-hmm. Pizza bones is the crusts. We need a shirt that says something about pizza bones.
Right.
Because bones, like skeletons.
Maybe we could have a skull with 2 pizza crusts behind it.
Oh, maybe
Dude!
maybe Pizza Bones could be the name of our ghost.
Pizza bones is good.
That's a good one.
I really like this pizza. You know how I know? Because I gave it a 4.25 out of 5.
Ooh, right.
4.25.
That's huge.
If you're going barstool rules, that's 8.5. That is huge.
Is that one of the highest I think you've ever rated one?
It's got to be.
Yeah, that's high.
It says, I had a feeling I'd like this place as soon as I made the order. He started stretching the dough for our half pepperoni, half cheese pie. Perfect slice. Wanted to eat it while it was still hot. Ooh, and I hate pizza when it's hot because it burns my mouth and then I'm pissed off for a good day or two. So that's how good this pizza was. I wanted to eat it while it was still burning me.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
4.25. Not the best pizza I ever had, but definitely
That's
high on the list.
still high for you. I don't know how many other ones you might have given that high of a score to.
I know. We need a registry for it.
And for anyone that wants to go to this pizza shop, I distinctly remember, I think I put the sticker behind one of the signs.
Our little slice of the paranormal sticker.
Yeah, so there is a slice of the paranormal sticker there for photo ops.
Yeah.
Nice.
To prove to us that you've been to one of the sites that we've frequented.
Yeah, and let us know what you think of the pizza.
We eat a lot of pizza. There's no way you eat as much pizza as we do. I'm just going to put that out
Yeah.
there. There's very little chances we eat even close to the amount of pizza we eat. There's just and
I bet there's some.
very few of them. There's a percentage of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people that eat, we'll get a pizza a day.
Dude.
Right.
And that's impressive. We go home and we have 3 to 4 pizzas
A day.
a day.
Not
Like,
every day.
No, but when we do
But
our
then we
trips.
eat pizza on other days.
Right,
It's not like we
because
stop eating
leftovers.
pizza.
Like before we went to New Jersey, I was like, I screwed up. We went to New Jersey on a Sunday, and I was like, I
had
just ordered
pizza.
pizza on Friday.
Pizza last night, yeah.
Yeah, I went back to James's Pizza.
There are frozen
Since then.
pizzas in my fridge. I love pizza. We'll talk about that
It's a
another day,
curse.
frozen pizzas. But anything else on this subject today? Did we get it
No,
all out?
I think we got most of Hawk Mountain until we
I'm
revisit
not going
the
to say
site.
again. And
Thank you. I
revisit it.
appreciate that.
You got it. That one was for Christine.
Yeah.
If you have any other information on Hawk Mountain or anything out there, the 10-foot electrical man.
Luminous,
Electrical?
10-foot luminous.
Illuminated. Sorry about the electrical thing. 10-foot illuminated thing. Please contact us. Let us
Thing.
know. Like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Please join us next time if you...
Crave a slice of the paranormal.
Thanks a lot.
This podcast was produced by Stone State Entertainment.